Durban in KwaZulu-Natal. Police are conducting raids this morning. The operation aims to clamp down on the employment of undocumented immigrants. The Premier, Tommy Ntuli, is expected to join some of these raids. Newsroom Africa's Silatiwe in Ndlovu is following the raid. Joins us now. Silatiwe, good morning. What's happening there at the moment?
Good morning, Stephen. As you can see this morning, the Premier's office, joined by a number of inspection teams such as labour inspectors, and also, as you can see from just behind the labour inspector, you also have heavy SAPS visibility. Of course, it was stated that there would be clamping down on undocumented immigrants that are working in some of those businesses that we do have in the country. This is, of course, something that we've heard from the Premier, where he's spoken about a number of times, where he is trying to ensure that the individuals, when you're looking at South Africans, he's trying to ensure that those people that are found to be working in those different businesses are actually not being exploited, and also that there are no undocumented immigrants that are working in those different places. But of course, we know that Stephen, one of the major concerns when you are looking at undocumented immigrants in the country that are employed is that firstly, it is unlawful, but also we have heard quite a number of times that undocumented immigrants that are working in those businesses, you do find that it does deprive South Africans of actually seeking different jobs. So at this very moment, then, they are trying to ensure that there are no undocumented immigrants that are found to be working in this location. We are at an industrial park in Umbilo, and as you can see, they are trying to verify that the right documents, a person that they are speaking to does in fact have the right documents in terms of operating here at this particular business. I'm just going to try, Stephen, and speak to him and see what he actually has to say to us. Maybe just to speak to us. Do you have the right documents to be operating this business?
Yes, we do. For the operating for the business, we have all the documents.
Okay. And I know the labour inspector at some point was asking you about risk management documents. Do you have all the right documents to be operating?
Yeah, the manager is busy sorting it out. If it's not, then we will sort it out.
And are you complying with the labour regulations that we have here in South Africa?
We do. Most of them, we do.
Most of them?
Yeah, we should do compliance.
You are compliant?
Yeah, we are compliant.
So, Stephen, as you heard from that conversation, he says he is complying with the labour regulations that we have in the country. But of course, we know that in previous instances where such raids have been conducted, it has been found that the people that own those different places are actually not complying. The workers that have also been found previously, it has been noted that they are being paid under a minimum wage, some of them working overtime. What I can also tell you is that from the attempts that we've made to speak to some of the workers that work at this particular place, they are not so willing to speak to us in terms of the activities that are happening at this particular location. But the inspection itself is continuing with labour inspectors, heavy visibility from SAPS. The KZN Premier, Tommy Ntuli, we are told, is also going to be joining this inspection shortly. And we also know, lastly, Stephen, that we are also going to be seeing another location, undisclosed at this point, to also ensure that the labour regulations are actually enforced there.
Shop looks like quite a big establishment, seems to have a large amount of stock. I mean, clearly this is an established outlet in Durban. This is a place that people will know. Many of them will shop at it quite regularly, from what I can see.
Certainly, Stephen. As you can see, there's a number of things that are being sold here, such as home stuff, as you can see from these visuals. But my colleague Elgin Sampier is also on the other side. He is joined by the Premier. So let's just have a listen to what's happening there.
It is unemployed, almost more than 46% youth unemployed in this province. And we have business people who are making money out of the very same people, but at the very same time, they are employing undocumented foreign nationals.
Premier, we're going to get to those details shortly, but I just want to get confirmation. Is the Provincial Commissioner of Police, Mkhwanazi, going to be joining you at this operation?
Unfortunately, it's out of the province. Yesterday, there was a report to me that it was not going to be easy for him to find me on time, because I will be here for a couple of time and then proceed to the Economic Council. He might come, but later. But he was also supposed to participate on arrival.
Let's talk about these operations, Premier. You've been running a lot of these campaigns on clamping down on illegal migrants. But the question then becomes, what happens when they have been arrested? Are these people that are here illegally deported once the process has been concluded?
Absolutely, they are deported. Even previously, when the police were complaining about the space because of the results of the operations, because we were able to capture thousands and thousands of them, I had to raise the concern with the Minister of Home Affairs. Unfortunately, there was an intervention. We were able to deport them. But for those who are discovered to be involved in crime, they are taken for prosecution. So the process, it cleans the problem of the undocumented foreign nationals and also the criminals, that they must actually go for prosecution.
All right. Premier, Elgin Sampier here from Newsroom Africa. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. So the Provincial Police Commissioner is not here, as you've just indicated. Are you able to tell us whether he is meeting with the President, whether he has met with the President after that press briefing on Sunday?
Well, I'm not aware. He has not indicated to me whether they have met. But in my understanding, it's important for the President of the Republic to get the full briefing on the issues that were raised by the Provincial Commissioner.
Yep. When the Provincial Police Commissioner briefed you on this matter, what did he tell you? And according to his explanation, does it amount at all to political interference in investigations?
I think it's crime in general, because it's all about crime. You know that we have a problem of the political killings in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and then the task team that was supposed to assist in fighting the problem of political killings. In fact, the intervention which was made seek to deprive an opportunity the people of KwaZulu-Natal to know the truth, in fact, to even end this problem of the political killings.
Yeah. But does it amount to political interference in investigations?
Well, I will not at this stage confirm that there is any political interference, except for what the Provincial Commissioner shared with the public, the role of the executive authority.
Following these revelations, Premier, just as the provincial government, your stance with regards to the work that has been done by the Provincial Commissioner, are you in full support of what he did on Sunday?
Well, the Provincial Commissioner at all the times will brief us about crime in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and that was no exception, because in fact, in regard of who is involved in crime, police will always brief the public on what is taking place, and we have full confidence over the police and even over his leadership in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and the braveness, in fact, to speak to the issues which seems to be, in fact, quite issues which seem not to be easy.
Yep. The President has his announcement that he's going to be making on Sunday at 7 p.m. Firstly, as the head of government in this province, what would you like to hear? But secondly, as somebody who comes from the IFP that have also been victims of political killings, what would you like to see go forward?
Well, we want to see the problem of political killings being dealt with once and for all, especially the orchestrators and the perpetrators to be brought on book. That is point number one. Well, with regard to the expectation and what the president may say, we have full confidence on the president of the republic, and will be looking forward to hear the direction and the guidance, because it is himself who would have had, in fact, a privilege of understanding better than all of us, and then the appropriate decision, in fact, that the president will make. I think it will be a decision to support.
What sort of investigation?
I mean, the president will have received briefing, not done investigation, because investigations are done by the police.
No, I'm asking now that if the president has met these various stakeholders, what sort of investigation, if there was an investigation to be announced, which you like to see, as a politician as well?
Well, I think to dip deeper on who else may be involved on the problems that, in fact, are confronting our country, especially to bring confidence on the work of the police, so that we'll all continue to trust the police. I have no doubt I trust the police. I believe in the police. You see them here. They are all over to fight with us as government, to try and ensure that all illegal things are removed, all criminal elements are dealt with.
Just Premier, on the sidelines of this, of course, we know the recent developments have been taking place in the province where some illegal or undocumented foreign nationals are being refused entry into public healthcare facilities. Just your stance as the provincial government, as to whether you agree or disagree with what is being done?
You see, the problem of the undocumented foreign nationals is serious. Hence, as government, we are not only participating in operations, but we are even trying to understand the extent of the problem as to why it's easy to access South Africa or KwaZulu-Natal. I've been to the border, at a border between Mozambique and South Africa, so that I had to understand better where the problem is. Now I understand when the Border Management Authority presents in our Council Against Crime, there are challenges. Now I understand actually better. And I'm of the view that it's necessary that we do not break law when we try to address the issue of the illegal or undocumented foreign nationals. For those who are stopping access to government institutions, they are also committing crime, because we have law enforcers. They are not law enforcers. They don't understand where to start and where to end. So I do not support that. I am really urging them to follow the right route. They see us as government working with the police and the law enforcers to enforce law. Why then are they not bringing into our attention problems which they see as being criminal in their nature? I think their behavior, in fact, to me, is not trying to assist the problem that we're faced with as the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
All right. Just a final one from my end, Premier. Again, on Mkhwanazi, his term comes to an end. Has the process around whether he gets replaced or whether his term gets renewed, has that conversation started at all?
Not yet, but for a caliber of a police, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is, everyone in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, even outside of the province, wouldn't wish to lose such a caliber of a police. He's an amazing police, the leadership that is providing in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, which has made even the citizen of the province to have confidence on the police. You know that people had lost confidence on the work of the police, but now the way they are now cooperating with the police, the way they are reporting whenever there are criminal activities taking place, is evidence that his leadership is a wonderful leadership.
How's he doing? When last did you speak to him?
Well, we had a sit-down conversation with him last week. He's fine. We are in constant communication as the provincial commissioner. I think you'll know that the Department of Community Safety and Liaising is in the office of the Premier. So we're in constant conversation. But on a sit-down, it was last week, but even yesterday we were communicating.
All right, that is the Premier of the province of KwaZulu-Natal speaking there about Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Of course, what has brought him here is this operation that is currently underway with the undocumented foreign nationals at this particular store, which we understand is the China Plaza. So that investigation is ongoing. But he is here in support or with the support of the South African Police Service. And essential to this is, of course, what's been happening with Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi following that press briefing that happened on Sunday, and also what happens to him now going forward. He's not here, as we understand. We don't know where the Provincial Police Commissioner is. No confirmation is yet whether he has met with the President, whether he will meet with the President. But as you just heard there from the Provincial Police Commissioner, he would like to have or would like to see that interview or conversation happening between the President as well as Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi because of the allegations that have been leveled. And again, here is the Premier of the province. The appointment of the Provincial Commissioner happens in consultation between the National Police Commissioner as well as the head of government in the province, and the Premier is the head of government in the province. He has expressed confidence in Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. His term is coming to an end as the Provincial Police Commissioner. What's going to happen post that? He has just expressed his confidence in Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi that he may be continuing in his role, but we will have to wait and see how that one is going to unfold.
And Eldrin, I mean, interesting to look at the Premier there, the IFP's Tami Mtuli, a very strong vote of confidence in Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, saying that he's really a wonderful leader. This is important.
This is very important, of course, considering also the remarks that have been made by the likes of, for instance, the ANC Youth League's president, Colin Malachi, saying that if Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi wants to enter the space of politics, he must go and join a branch of the ANC and then engage in politics at that level. But was this a political move or was it not a political move? But earlier on, we're in conversation with Gogo Obrimashikri and was making reference to the interview that Nasipi Same had yesterday with Diane Kolabarnat from the Democratic Alliance, who then brings back this particular issue that every time that there is going to be a change in presidency, do you find situations like these that also involve senior members of the South African Police Service? So we cannot divorce the politics around, or we cannot divorce the politics of what is currently playing out and the impact that could have on the ANC as well as the ANC prepares for its elective conference. Of course, that will be taking place in 2027. We know that names have been thrown around of potential people, successors of President Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of the ANC. And one of those names that have been bandied about is that of Senzo Mchunu. You remember back in the 2017, the ANC's elective conference, he lost out to Ace Magashule. He was on the slate of President Cyril Ramaphosa. He lost out to Ace Magashule by 24 votes. So he definitely has a strong constituency here in this province. But in this province as well, you have the likes of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who's not scared of taking on politicians head on, as he said that he is willing to die to defend that badge.